Welcome back to Advocacy Alchemy with Professor Ross. Today, we have a good one, guys. Today, we're diving into a case that raises many eyebrows. A security guard at a Los Angeles Taco Bell was caught on camera slapping a patron. The incident took place at the establishment located on West 7th Street there, close to Skid Row, an area known for its socio-economic challenges. There's quite a few homeless people there. In this lecture, we're not only going to break down what happened, but also explore the legal implications. We'll take a look at some of the evidentiary standards and the broader question of justice when socioeconomic issues come into play. Let's jump in. This video captured an aggressive encounter where the security guard, whose actions have been questioned and are still being questioned, forcibly escorted a woman out of the restaurant after a brief but heated altercation. Eyewitnesses noted that the woman, who appeared vulnerable and possibly homeless, was simply trying to order food when the situation escalated. The dramatic footage forces us to ask a couple of questions. First, what role does the environment play in this type of confrontation? And how does justice manifest when you have these type of power dynamics at play? Let's jump into the law breakdown. Now, this all happened in California, so we'll be looking at the California Penal Code. First, you have trespass. This is found at the Penal Code section 602. This offense occurs when someone enters or remains on another's property without permission. This includes actions like entering with the intent to cause damage or refusing to leave once you've been asked. Typically, these offenses are misdemeanors. The penalty can reach up to 6 months in county jail, fines up to $1,000. Now, there are certain instances that can increase the penalties. If a person is entering a fenced-in property that has signage that says no trespassing, you could potentially face a harsher penalty. There's also aggravated trespass. This is found at section 601. Now, this is known as a step beyond simple trespass. Aggravated trespass is committed when someone makes a threat to inflict serious bodily harm and then, within 30 days of making that threat, unlawfully enters someone's residence or workplace with the intent to carry out that same threat. So you understand how that works? Someone makes a threat, I'm going to get you, and then they actually show up to come and get whoever they said that to. All right, charges can range from a misdemeanor on this one, with penalties up to 1 year in county jail, but it also can be a felony that can carry a penalty up to 16 months in prison. A range, 16 months in prison, up to 3 years in prison. And that all depends on the situation and the circumstances, okay? There's also battery. This is found at section 242. Battery involves the willful and unlawful use of force or violence upon another person. Battery is the actual physical contact that is harmful or offensive. Typically, this is treated as a misdemeanor for simple battery, but it can lead to penalties up to 6 months in county jail, fines of up to $2,000. A key thing to keep in mind when you're talking about criminal laws in California or anywhere else, many times When the prosecutor is trying to determine how they're going to charge a case, they look at a person's criminal history, their past, and the circumstances surrounding this incident. Okay, let's move into our evidentiary standards next. Understanding how evidence is weighed in our justice system is key. Let's break down these 6 evidentiary standards and see how they apply in this case. First, you have mere suspicion. Mere suspicion is simply a unsubstantiated suspicion. It's a gut feeling or a hunch, but it's not enough to actually go and arrest anyone or to give grounds for a search. This is the most basic level. For example, a bystander might initially feel that the altercation was unjustified simply by witnessing the incident. So when we're talking about this slap here. Number 2, reasonable suspicion. This is a reasonable belief based on specific facts that a crime may be occurring. For instance, if the woman had repeatedly refused to leave after she had been asked, security could claim a reasonable suspicion that there was some crime happening. Number 3, probable cause. Probable cause is reached when there is sufficient evidence to warrant an arrest or a search. It requires a belief that a crime has occurred. In this incident, evidence like video footage, eyewitness testimony, they all might be used to establish probable cause for the level of force in this situation or the unreasonableness of the level of force in this situation. Next, preponderance of evidence. This standard means it's more likely than not the facts that one party is claiming are true. 51% of the evidence pointing to their claim being true. This could be applied when determining if the security guard's actions were justified under the company's policy. This standard is used in civil cases mostly. Number 5, clear and convincing evidence. This is another civil standard. This is a higher standard than preponderance. It's often used in cases with significant consequences for the defendant. Administrative hearings, employment cases, fraud cases. So it's still in the civil realm, but this is the type of cases where you really need more evidence to prove your point. Should the case escalate to aggravated charges, the prosecution may need to meet this higher standard to determine bail and things of that nature. Number 6, beyond a reasonable doubt. This is the highest evidentiary standard in criminal trials. For criminal charges like battery, the evidence, things like the video, witness accounts, and anything else that they can bring must leave no logical explanation other than that the security guard committed the offense. Each standard, it plays a crucial role in ensuring that justice is both done and seen to be done, particularly in cases where socio-economic factors may influence behavior and public perceptions. Okay, let's deal with the jury perspective. Imagine being a member of the jury for this case, and you're tasked with evaluating what happened here. Even if we acknowledge that the woman in the video appears homeless, and that's a fact that might evoke certain societal biases, should anyone ever be subjected to physical violence simply because they're broke? As a juror, you might eventually receive a much broader array of evidence, detailed witness testimonies, expert analysis, even some contextual background that goes far beyond the roughly 90-second video we saw here. But consider this. What if instead of an abundance of more information, what if you were on a jury and you only had this 90-second clip to guide you as you make a decision on whether a person is innocent or guilty? This scenario forces us to question the role of limited evidence in the pursuit of justice. How do you weigh a short video against the broader backdrop of a person's life circumstance? And even more importantly, can the inherent dignity of every individual, regardless of their social or economic standing, justify a complete prohibition against unwanted physical contact? As a potential juror, you must navigate these types of questions, balancing sympathy and prejudice against the sometimes hard and unyielding standards of the law. By considering these perspectives, the perspective of the defendant, the state, and the victim, We're challenged to think critically about how justice is administered and what it truly means to protect every citizen's rights, no matter how limited the evidence might be. So I ask you again, what do you think you would do in this situation? It looks bad, but sometimes looks are not everything. In wrapping up, we've seen that this incident is more than just a case of a security guard losing his cool. This is a window into the challenges of administering justice in environments affected by socio-economic challenges. By examining the legal breakdown and the evidentiary standards, we can appreciate how the law strives to balance individual rights with community safety, even in the face of difficult circumstances. I think everyone should take some time and really think about how law, justice, and society all meet in the middle somewhere. Let's discuss this case in the comments below. Do you think socioeconomic factors should play a larger role in how justice is applied? How can our legal system better address some of these challenges? Remember, this is Advocacy Alchemy. I am Professor Ross, and I'll see you tomorrow. You all have a good day.